Hey everybody, Josh down here at Advantage One today with Big Fusion 424. And when I see big things like this, it always reminds me of that old song, whoa, get your dually and come. Because this thing's big. It's between 15 and 16,000 pounds, empty, dry weight. But we've got like a, 12 and a half foot garage, something like that on the back of this thing. And it's got, I don't even know if it's appropriate to call it double patios. It's a front porch. And because of the weird arrangement of this, I never know where to start. Like, I always want to start up front, but I feel like door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3. Even though doors number 1 and 2 back here actually lead to the same place. Proactive answer to a question you may not have had, I don't know. Why do I have MORryde stable steps here? Why do I have MORryde stable steps on the front porch, but not in the middle door? Because that is in the garage area where your loading space is going to be. And, they don't want steps, getting in your way. Now, I just ducked under that cable coming up this, patio gate right there. You don't have to do that. Hang with me a little bit. When we come back outside, I'm going to explain a little bit more of that. Company policy has said we are no longer wearing shorts currently. And then, instead of being 40 degrees, it decided to be 80 today. And, I'm sweating to the oldies here. It's getting swampy. Saw a nice reflection of me there in that just super smoky glass door. One of the things I really, really love that Keystone has done over the years, they were one of the very first ones to really take just a garage area and make it something like this is a legit party room. Ironically, it just wasn't getting used enough by the previous owners, which is why they swapped out of this into a big Montana. They still wanted to stay in that nice luxury fifth wheel. They were happy with their Keystone, and it just wasn't the right floor plan for them. But those giant windows, and to give you an idea of how little this is really used back here, like it's been used some, but that right there is the original like indoor-outdoor rug that you could roll out back here in a, 12 and a half foot garage, something like that. My tape measure only goes to 10 feet, so I'm kind of eyeballing it a little bit. My bigger tape measure just magically came up missing out of my office. Isn't that nice? But if you want to, you can give it more of a rugged, rugged, not rugged living room. That's, you know what? It's spelled the same. It's hard to say, though. So a couple things here. This, I was really sad when they stopped doing this. This is like a really, really cool drop-down gas-strutted TV mount right here. You can pivot the TV to face either of the benches. We'll talk about those in a minute. And then when you're done with it, there you go. That's it. That's all there is to it. And when we get that out of the way, you're going, what is this cargo? What? That is actually just, there's a little miniature subfloor gap right there under the, loft that is behind the entertainment center from the inside, little loft bed space. They said, why don't we make that ladder storage? Also, nice touch in here. You don't usually see this. I think this is actually swapped out by the previous owners because I see where there used to be some other kind of shade here. But what I like is when they removed it, you can tell they didn't rip it off or damage it. They even replaced the initial screw, so there's not just a hole in the wall. It's done with intention, and that means more to me. But they put some blackout roller shades in here. Got that free-floating, like little, Dynofa picnic table there. Handy little half bath, you can see. Also, notice how the floor steps up here. Later on, I'm going to actually talk about how there's greater insulation in the living cabin versus here in the garage. And that's just a good visual reference point for you. You may have noticed we've got the washer-dryer hookups back here. This is something that was a very popular model among a lot of full-timers. And as we spin around here, if you've seen this once, you've seen it 1,000 times, but I don't want to miss the fact that you do have the Happy Jack Power bed above and the double rollover like sofa bed down below. What I do want to point out, though, is this up here. This RV has a triple air conditioner system. It has 3 15,000 BTU air conditioners. And one of the reasons I want to point that out is you may have noticed that garage air conditioner was not centrally ducted. What they did here is your entire living cavity has a dual 15,000 BTU air system with shared centralized ducting. You have no roof ducting shared between the living area and the garage completely by intention. So if you're loading something that has like a combustion exhaust, you don't get the backflow of fumes in through your ducting and down into your living area. So you have a standalone, just the garage air conditioner. Then you have dual centrally ducted living, bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, etc. Air conditioning. All three of which can simultaneously operate. That is something, when these came out, was very, very uncommon. Jayco was the first fifth wheel toy hauler brand in their size mix to be to have true triple simultaneous air conditioning systems. Previously, you could get a toy hauler with triple air, but only two ever ran at a time, and a power management system would juggle them. This is all three at once, which is very cool because they're using like power saver airs and things that just start up easier. This right here, I know it's just kind of hanging out here. I love this though. And in a way, it's kind of acting like our dinette. But if you notice these things, they are fully anchored into the construction of that. It's a very cool swivel seat. You could literally stand on those if you wanted to, but the seats do swivel, so I actually don't really recommend that. But a cool little place at the end of the night. You could sit down, friends, if it's just getting a little chilly outside, or if I'm together with my friends out here on what I like to call the front porch, there's inevitably a time where I'm sitting here, they're sitting here, something like that, or we're sitting across from one another in our favorite little lawn chairs under the patio awning with the lights going at night. And we start getting into a stupid conversation. My wife goes, ugh, I've had enough. Like, to give you an idea of the sample kind of dumb conversations that I have with my friends, we once got into the discussion about whale blubber. Gross whale fat, whale blubber is used, or was at least used, to make soaps. So if you eat whale blubber, does that mean that you're going to smell nicer? Like, that's the kind of stupid conversations that we got into. And eventually, my wife and my friend's wife would be like, nope, I'm out. And they're going to cash in their chips, and they're going to come in here away from the stupidity where it's, just a little more sane. And maybe they'll, sit in the sofa across from the electric space heat and fireplace. Maybe they'll sit here, chit-chat amongst one another. I don't know, because I don't exactly pay attention to when it happens because I'm too involved in my whale blubber conversation. Now, remember that blackout shade? Shades that we saw in the garage. This is something else the previous owner did I really, really like. They put a full blackout privacy shade here. Even though that's a smoky glass door, if someone's going to be sleeping in that garage, it's actually really nice that they did that. Now, because toy haulers go off the grid quite a bit, you can see that this has a gas and electric 18 cubic foot big giant luxury fifth wheel refrigerator here. But again, we've got a built-in 5500 Onan generator. So you can take this thing anywhere you want, do anything you want with it whenever you want, as long as you can physically fit it into the parking space. That's really one of the only points of consideration on a big rig like this. Especially like you got the side patio, the rear patio. Man, you're taking up quite the postage stamp in this thing, when you start setting up shop. You see all the original owner's manuals and everything there, all blackout roller shades up in there through the entirety of the slide. Every one of those windows has a airflow panel, and because we are in a true toy hauler that is a lot taller in the ceiling area, that is a, 8-foot slide out or something nuts like that? It's huge. All four sections of the sofa are like wall huggers that can recline, which is awful darn nice. You might notice, too, the entire flooring in here is all completely carpetless, which is a nice touch for something like this. Now, the entertainment, I think, is done very, very well, because any time from any of the seats over here on the sofa, or if you're in the kitchen, you're just lounging, buddy. Not to mention that big 4-seater couch that we're sitting on. That is a huge, napping couch space. Central vacuum on the bottom left. Electric space heat and Tootsie Toaster straight across from us. Again, they added those blackout shades, even for that main front porch door, so you can have full privacy in this. I'm telling you, I really, really like what they did here. But easily, the most important factor in this entire RV is the Legend of Zelda liquor cabinet back here. The entire entertainment center actually swings open. Fusion was one of the very first, they're really one of the pioneers of the true, like, hideaway pantry-tainment center. I did notice, though, as I was opening and closing that, it is rubbing the floor just a little bit. You can see that little arc, that little semicircle right there. I always want to be fair. That's really about the worst thing I've been able to locate on this RV. The folks who purchased this they bought it just down the street from Haylett RV. They're, long-time Haylett customers. Whenever they swap into or out of something, we always know that when they're done with it, it's going to be in really good condition. And this really certainly seems to be absolutely no exception. The bathroom here is very unconventional, but very, very nice. You've got the same solid surface countertops in here that you have in the kitchen. Nope, there we go. That is also an all one-piece molded fixture with some height-adjustable shower hardware. And then there's just the little touches like the handy, laundry hamper right there. The dedicated, linen space in the bathroom. Because this is a wider body coach, they had the ability to pull off, like, a big shower and a nice bathroom and dual entry doors and a king bed all in the upper deck that sometimes you really can't effectively accomplish on a standard 8-foot body platform. This is a 70 by 80 king Glide-A-Bed. That mattress actually slides against the wall automatically. When you push the button to close the wardrobe slide, it will close itself. Now, obviously, the mattress is pretty close to the wall over here. If you center it back up, it is a little bit tighter, but you do still have some room to walk around that. The bed is asymmetrical, though. You do have more room to walk around that side, so if you're the little bit larger person, that might be your side of the bed. Just again, because of the nature of this big closet slide over here and all of the storage that it gives us. There's also a giant storage drawer below the bed. I'm just at a terrible angle to try to show that for you. You see all kinds of like cabinet space above the bed too. And again, that third air conditioner up here. This thing is very large, but it has the capacity to keep it cool here, even in the hotter climates. Things like this, like a fully enclosed privatized docking center where your battery disconnected, all your water and cable hookups and all that stuff are. That's normal in luxury fifth wheels, but at the time this was made, it was very less common in the world of like luxury toy haulers. And that's really what I consider this to be. Fusion and Montana have an interesting kind of relationship. Fusion is in a lot of ways the toy hauler cousin to a Montana. They share a lot of qualities. One of those that is really not well documented and not well known is that the sidewalls on these are actually CNC routed. They're not hand cut. They are machine precise within 1/1000th of an inch. And I've always felt that's one of the reasons I've personally, I'm sure in the history of history, somebody may have had, say, like a window issue, ill-fitting in the walls and caused a leak, but I've, in my career, never personally encountered one. The Rotoflex pin box goes hand in hand with the shock dampening suspension on this big triple axle. She's a big girl. You need the extra axles for all that, cargo weight and just the dry weight of this thing. It does have a limited belly space, but you've got a big garage in the back. I think that you're, pretty good here. This has the full-blown in-command system, and Fusion was really one of the front runners on bringing that more kind of commonly into the RV industry here. Now, something I really like about this one, again, is that front porch. It just screams to me, welcome home. Like, I just want to grab a rocking chair and just sit up there. There's even a little outdoor entertainment, like, it's just so over the top. And look at the placement of the patio awning. I'm doing the best to keep the light off the camera, by the way. Man, it's just brutal today. It's hanging low in the sky this time of year. When you get up here, basically, you've got your own shielded patio awning space. And it is nicely under that patio awning right there. So that you even on a drizzly rainy day, you can really expand your living space, which I think is very, very nice. Now, you don't have to put these steps on. I think I certainly would. It's an interesting thing. There's actually two different types of MORryde steps on this. This is an over-under system right here. It actually hooks to the bottom of the door. And then the patio gate basically actually hooks to the steps, although you can sort of link those together if you want to. This is one of the first years that I started seeing Keystone gravitate over to the Saloon radials, which I wish I would have learned more about those sooner than I did. They are 75 mile an hour rated, and when they're brand new, they actually carry 2 more years of warranty, even as compared to Goodyear Endurance tires. They're one of the only things I've ever seen that I think really, truly stands as a parallel, not even close to, but a parallel to Goodyear tires. Notice though, we have triple power awnings on this. You've got the one over the front porch, you've got the rear one over the rear garage door there, and then there is actually a third power awning off the back of this. Now, I want to clarify something here, because I've only done a quick set on this because I have like 4 other videos that I have to capture today. You look at these steps and you look at that support line right there and you're like, what a bunch of dummies. Who would do that? What I didn't set up, but you can clearly see, is that on both sides of the ramp, you actually have support legs that can drop down. And what is really cool about that is not only does it let you get those cables out of the way, but normally these doors are rated for 3,000 pounds for loading and only 1,500 for patio because they're hanging over nothing. It's a lot of torque on the door. But when you drop those legs down, they regain the 3,000 pound load limit. I mean, that, I don't care how much pandemic poundage you've put on. If you can physically fit 3,000 pounds of human being on this thing, frankly, I'm just going to be impressed. You're going to have to stack people up like a trapeze artist, and I'm not sure people that heavy are going to be, well, very stackable. It's like I see nice RVs all the time. From ground level, they can look great. It's almost like a box of chocolates when I get on the roof. I never know what I'm going to get, and what I'm getting up here is nothing but good news. Like I can see where this kitchen skylight has been fully peeled and resealed, and proactively, because there's no water damage around it. So they were keeping the bathroom skylight as well. That's actually very common that your kitchen bathroom skylights need resealed first, because those skylights are actually a dual layer. They tend to trap more heat, and it tends to kind of bake the sealant around them a little bit more quickly. But obviously these folks were on top of it, because it's not just been resealed, it is physically clean up here. This is great. And from the ground, you might have noticed the funky little cow water up here. That is actually one wicked WineGuard, like a Wi-Fi hotspot connection point LTE capable kind of internet cow water. Now, obviously, we're all the way up top here, but the underbelly of this, going the complete opposite direction, it is in the living cavity, enclosed, heated, like radiant barrier, layered and all that. There's radiant barrier stuff through the roof, down the nose cap. Fusion, again, with a similar relationship to Montana, has a very, very comparable heating cooling package. Hot, cold, camp, rated, tested, proven. What I want to point out, though, is when you have a garage with a fueling station, like I pointed at it, but I didn't really explain it. This has 2 30-gallon fuel cells on this, one dedicated strictly to the generator, one dedicated strictly to the fuel station. Now, if you don't care about fueling up toys, you can just cross pump over. They do not connect, though, in case you want to use 2 different fuels. That's totally by intention. But when you have a fuel station, you can't enclose it. For fire code reasons, because you could actually, let's say there's any sort of reason fumes are escaping, you could have a fume buildup, which is, this close to being a bomb. So the garage area, never going to be quite as done under the floor as the rest of this, but the living cavity designed to be used in hot, cold, all sorts of weather. And again, the triple air conditioner system, 45,000 BTUs of air power in this thing. Woo! Let's pull it up. Nope, stop. Edit. 99 in. So come on over. Grab a seat. Shoot the breeze. Chew the fat. Have a drink. This one has that welcome home kind of feeling to me, which is, I don't say that a lot about toy haulers, but this floor plan's always been, I think, kind of special that way. Substituting a door for like a front porch patio. Just brilliant. It shocks me, frankly. I haven't seen it more. If you'd like to learn more about this, we leave you a link in the video description. You can check pricing and availability. And I've definitely done just a very quick surface cursory level pass through this. This is a very, very high level fifth wheel toy hauler. There's not a whole lot more loaded than a Fusion, especially during this generation right here. They were the #1 seller during this time period. I mean, they were just absolutely crushing everybody else out there. There's a lot more to learn. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave me some comments or just call our team here. And if you need extra measurements, you need something checked out, you need an extra picture I wasn't able to get you, we'll take care of you. Until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and have an A1 day, everyone.